Well, ultimately, no, because they're not all there. And one of the central tenets of the whole review, which I just mentioned a few moments ago, is making schools responsible for children that they exclude and to be held to account for their educational outcomes. Because the whole point of the SEND reforms was to people start focusing on outcomes. What can children achieve given the right education, support, environment where they can thrive? Whereas that sits almost sort of in a sort of juxtaposed position with where schools then are being judged as to whether they are providing a first-class education for pupils who are on their books. So I think there's quite a lot that could still be done, but it gets put in the too difficult to do column. How does a school who's excluded a child have a fair reflection of their responsibility in that child's educational achievements if they're no longer at that school? But of course, you now have a lot of multi-academy trusts where within them they may have primary school, secondary school, special school, or AP. So I think there are ways in the sort of modernised education system where we can change some of the ways we measure the way schools continue to provide the right level of education and support, irrespective of where that child ends up being. Because we have to accept sometimes children need to move schools, so they need to go somewhere that's better, not worse, but better than the current school that they're in. And that still continues to be a battle through EHCPs, I know. And that one of the conversations that the department is having is about the level of choice you have on the school that you move to. So there's a lot of work that still needs to be done to change the incentives within the school system so that schools make the right decision for children rather than the right decision for them.